This lesson, 5.5, is about trapezoids. Okay, first of all, what is a trapezoid? A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. So, let's say in this top one, these two sides are parallel, the other two sides are not. Okay, and what we do is we call the two sides that are parallel are called the bases. So in this top trapezoid, the top side and the bottom side are both the bases. And we call the two non-parallel sides the legs. Okay, and I've got another one here, let's say in this one, that these two are the parallel sides. So the left and the right, in the way this is oriented, are each the base sides. And again, it's the non-parallel sides that we call the legs. So that's a trapezoid. It's a quadrilateral with exactly and only one pair of opposite sides that are parallel to each other. Now there's a special kind of trapezoid called an isosceles trapezoid. So in an isosceles trapezoid, if this was an isosceles trapezoid, we would say, okay, let's say that these two sides are parallel. In an isosceles trapezoid, the legs are congruent. So the legs are congruent to each other. The bases are always parallel. But we have, in an isosceles triangle, this really nice symmetrical looking trapezoid. And much like an isosceles triangle, in fact, if you just were to extend these lines up until they intersected, you realize an isosceles trapezoid is just the bottom part of an isosceles triangle that got its head taken off. So just like an isosceles triangle, we've got these base angles here are congruent to each other. So those are the two special properties of an isosceles trapezoid. The legs are congruent to each other, and the base angles opposite those legs are congruent to each other. So these two angles right here. Okay, so here's a special theorem about the median of a trapezoid. So first of all, what is the median? Well, the median is, if we find the legs of this trapezoid, remember that the bases are the two sides that are parallel. So if we find the legs and we get the midpoint of each leg, kind of like when you're doing this with an isosceles triangle, or I mean any kind of triangle, to find the median connects the midpoints of the two legs. So right there, that's the median of the trapezoid. And there's two things that are true about that median. First of all, it is parallel to both of the bases. Okay? And that can be easily seen as to why. It's the same reason the median is parallel to the third side with a triangle. The second thing is, as far as the length of that median is it's the average of the two base lengths. So like in green, if I add up what this length is and this length and divide by 2, I get the number that's halfway between those two numbers. So anyway, that's what that median, the length of it is. So for example, if this was 10 and this bottom one was 20, then the median would be the average number, the number that's halfway between 10 and 20. So that's going to be 30 divided by 2, or 15. So that's the special property, or the theorem about the median of a trapezoid. So for our first example, let's say that I have a trapezoid. It doesn't have to be an isosceles trapezoid. This is any trapezoid. And I can see that the median, I can tell it's the median because it connects these two midpoints, that the median is 8, and one base is 4. So how do I find x, the bigger base that's on the bottom? Well, I know that the median of 8 is equal to the sum of the base lengths divided by 2, or it's the average of those two base lengths. So it's the 4 plus the x divided by 2. So to clear the fraction, I multiply both sides by 2 to get 16 is 4 plus x. So I can see that x is equal to 12. okay, which should make sense because this number 8 should be halfway between 4 and 12. Okay, and 4 and 12 are 8 apart from each other, so 4 more than 4 or 4 less than 12 gives me 8. Okay, in this next example, I have another, I can tell it's a trapezoid. I have two pairs of parallel sides, and I've got a median going through it because it does connect the midpoints here of both these sides of the trapezoid. So I have to find x. Okay, so I'm going to find x. And to find x, I need to set up an equation here. I know that the median, 2x plus 4, is equal to the average of the two base lengths. So if I add up the two base lengths, 3x plus 2 plus 2x plus 1, so the top plus the bottom divided by 2, I can solve for x. So to clear this fraction, I multiply, first of all, both sides by 2. So I get, and then I have to use distributive property here, so I get 4x plus 8 is equal to, and if I simplify, here I have a 5x, and then a 2 and a 1 is a 3. So subtracting 4x from both sides leaves a 1x on this side, and subtracting 3 from both sides puts a 5 on this side. So just to check it, if x is 5, then this top side is 3 times 5 plus 2, or 17. And the bottom side, the shorter side, base, is 2 times 5 plus 1, so 10 plus 1, or 11. Notice that those are 6 apart from each other, so the median should be 3 greater than 11, 3 greater than 17, or 3 less than 17, which is 14. And in fact, when I check it, 2 times 5 is 10 plus 4 is 14. So it all checks. And, well, one more example. Okay, I like this example. This is a big figure here, and we're told that this big figure on the outside, TRAP, is a trapezoid, and XZ is the median of the trapezoid. So I know that it goes through the midpoints. X and Y are midpoints of those sides of the trapezoid, and XZ is parallel to TR and PA. So if I have to find the length of XZ, so I have to find the length of the median. So I can see that I know the median is the average of the two base lengths. So the median, so XZ, should be equal to the average of TR, which is 16, and PA, which is 10 plus 16, or 26. And so if I divide that sum by 2, that's going to be 42 divided by 2, or 21. So XZ has a length of 21. And then what's XY? Well, with XY, I just want to focus on this triangle here. And I know that the median of a triangle, I know that this is a midpoint, and this must be a midpoint because it's parallel to the bottom here of that triangle, and that for a triangle, the median of the triangle is half of the bottom length. So I know that XY should be half of PQ, half of 10, so that has a length of 5. So that's it for trapezoids.